Greetings, everyone. I had some questions about a couple of the homework problems, and so I'm going to do some videos here that will help explain and help you get to the solutions on those problems. The first one that we'll look at is from Chapter 2, number 19. And so the question here is, you're given the following information for Ted's Dread Company sales. Sales is equal to 83.8, cost 58.5, etc. And so the first thing whenever you do, as I mentioned earlier, the first thing you want to do in these types of problems is set it up into an Excel spreadsheet. And that way it's a lot easier to work with the information. And so we know here, just recognizing the fields that we're giving, these are all income statement items. Sometimes in some of these problems, they're balance sheet items. Sometimes there's a combination of both. For this particular problem, we're looking at income statement. And so what we need to know is, how is an income statement structured? And we need to go back to our days in high school of algebra. And this one is, if you told your algebra teacher in high school, I'm never going to use this again, well, here's where we're going to use it. So the first thing I do is put in the givens. So what I filled in so far on this are the givens. So they tell me that the sales are 83.8, the costs are 58.5. The question is, what's the depreciation? And so that's the unknown. And then we get to earnings before interest and taxes, or EBIT. And so we don't know that yet. And then we know interest expense is 31.50. We don't know what taxable income is or net income, so we will get to all of those. So the first key thing is understanding what an income statement looks like and how things are ordered. So you need to know that sales are at the top, and then you take costs out, and then depreciation, and that gets you to EBIT. And then you take out taxes, and if there's interest, then that would be in there as well. So anyway, so here's what we're given for this particular problem. And so the first thing that, and I forgot to mention, we're given dividends paid and retained earnings for the period, and the tax rate is 22%. So the first thing we want to know is net income is a box we can fill in, and we can get that from the dividends paid plus the retained earnings. So basically, what we're looking for is, what was the total amount that we made all year? And we know that based on what we made, we paid $3,400 out to the owners, and we kept $7,900 in the business. So if I add those two together, that's going to give me my net income. So I'm just going to put the formula in there to say that plus that. So we've got net income of $11,340. And so then we want to know what's our taxable income. So basically, I'm just going to go up the spreadsheet backwards here, because that's the information I've got. So if I know my net income, then I know that I pay 22% taxes on my taxable income. So this is where a little algebra comes in handy, where I know taxable income times 22% is equal to the net income. So I'm just going to take that net income and divide it by 1 minus the tax rate. And so here's my formula. So I've got the net income divided by 1 minus the tax rate. So basically, how much and the reason we go 1 minus, how much do we get to keep? So we know we paid 22%, which means we get to keep 78%. So the 78% then is the 1 minus 22%, gives us the 78%. And then I can do a quick check on that to say, okay, if my taxable income was 14,538, now multiply that by 22%, then I should have paid $31.98 in taxes. And so if I subtract my taxable income less the taxes I paid, then sure enough, it matches up. My net income is $11,340. So that is correct. So now that I've got the net income, I can get the earnings before interest and taxes real easily by just adding my interest expense to the net income. And so now I know that because my net income plus the taxes I got are going to equal the earnings before interest and taxes. So 17,688 is going to be my EBIT. And we know that this plus the sales minus the cost minus the depreciation is equal to EBIT. So again, a little algebra here, and we can say that depreciation has to be sales minus cost minus EBIT, and we come up with $7,612 for depreciation. So again, those have to add up. So I can punch in for my answer here, 7,612, check my work, and sure enough, that is correct. So, quick overview of how to do Chapter 19. Again, it's all in the setup. Make sure that you've got your income statement, your items in order there, and then it's a matter of filling in the blanks. It's almost like a puzzle where we just got to fill in the blanks for figuring out each of those and the relationship between that. So a lot of these homework problems are just reinforcing the idea with you regarding how all of these fields relate to each other. All right, let's go on to a next one here on the next video. Thanks.